All right, today we're going to be going over Investigation 6A, which involves Newton's first and second laws. As you guys already know, the first law talks about when there's no net force, and the second law addresses when there is a net force. That's why there's an acceleration. So we have some predictions to make that you guys can do first. So go ahead and take a minute to write that down. All right, next we have the directions. So we're going to change force, but keep a constant mass. So I have this set up with the rubber band. The photo gate is on the first mark with the square. So some of these have like the squares on them. And I just have one marble in the car. And it says in the center. I should just move that over. As long as we keep it consistent, that's fine. And then we're going to go ahead and launch. And you'll notice that the tables that are in your lab aren't really great because they don't show multiple trials. So what your investigation manual says is to write down the 3 trials and only put the average here. So you can do that, or you can make your own table that actually has each of the trials and the average so you can see all the data. And I'll actually give you an example of what those could look like. So let's go ahead and do the experiment. Okay, I started this and I was getting 2 different of trials because I had this pushed all the way back. So I put it a little bit closer so I don't have to displace the rubber band as much. So I'm hoping that gets us more consistent results. All right, so 1 rubber band, trial 1. And 1 rubber band, trial 2. Here and trial 3. All right, those are all pretty close. So let's go ahead and take the average and put that on our table. You can either do it now or later. I'm going to add my second rubber band. Add more force, and we'll stack those right up on each other. And let's try with our second condition. Trial 1. Let's try that one again. Trial 2. And third trial for 2 rubber bands. Got that here. All right, next we have a third rubber band that we're going to put on here. And let's do trial 1. Oh, yikes, that's not good. Let's try that again. You can try from this. Nope. It's really hard to pull this back and keep that flat. Yeah, we are struggling. There we go. That was a good one. So trial 1. Got trial 2. And trial 3. We are getting kind of different results for all of these, so that's kind of interesting, but that can be something that we just know adds to the human error of this project. All right, so we're going to stop and think. What portion of the car's motion is affecting the speed? Make your graph, make sure to follow those directions, and then think about the same mass. Why did we do that? Because in part 4, we are going to be changing the mass. So we have our directions here. Again, our table doesn't have room for all 3 trials, so you can either write those down and average them before putting that in the table, or you can use my example and make a new table. All right, trial 1. 1 marble, 1 rubber band. Let's go. Our first trial. Second trial. And third trial. Phew, those are all pretty close to one another. All right, so we add a second marble. So I'm gonna add that right in here, and we get 3 more trials. Trial 1. Trial 2. And trial 3. All right, last condition, let's have 3 marbles. You'll also notice that in the table it says what is the mass. We're just gonna say number marbles, 1, 2, and 3, and that'll be fine. All right, first trial. Ooh, you can visibly see it's moving much slower, much more slowly. I don't know which one's right. They both sound okay. And 2. And last trial. Here we go. All right, now for part 5, we get to apply what we've learned. So we're going to be answering each of those questions. And again, there will be another graph. So I'll let you guys read these directions and do this part on your own. All right, lastly, part 6, it says fun challenge. Really, I think it's just another thing, but sometimes just hearing that it's fun can maybe change your mindset. So we're gonna compare 2 things, 1 rubber band with no marbles, and then 2 rubber bands, 2 marbles. So I'm doubling the force, doubling the mass for this. So go ahead and make your prediction now. That way, for the next part of the video, you'll see if you're right. All right, 1 rubber band, no marbles. Ooh, it's gonna be hard to launch. There we go. So we get this right here. I'm just gonna do 1 trial for each as long as they're good. So the next one, I'm putting in 2 marbles and using 2 rubber bands. Put this in here. Ooh-wee. I'm gonna put this one up front so I can have my finger here. 1, 2, 3. That looked good. All right, here's our other data point. So from here, you can go ahead and calculate and actually see if what's happening meets your prediction. So there you go. We are all done with this lab.